my colleague mentioned it, we offer all our students, the foreigner students, a free extensive Spanish course through all the year. It's free, and we only ask them to include it in the learning agreement. Okay, so it can be done at the beginning when they are choosing their courses, but also they can do it when they make changes on the learning agreement, because we need to know their level. Okay, so it's a collaboration with the Center for Modern Languages, and we offer them Spanish extensive courses and also intensive courses. There's one in October and another one in July for them. Okay. Another service we have for our international students, it's a program called Buddy Program. Okay, basically we offer them a local student to accompany them and help them, especially with accommodation, administrative procedures, etc. Okay, they just fill a form. They ask for a buddy, and they've assigned one. Okay, we assign a person to them. And also, I think has been also mentioned yesterday, we have a welcome ceremony for them to meet other students and meet the administrative staff, academic staff, for them to share their impression at their arrivals. And the international fair, as a part of internalization at home, we give our international students the opportunity to present their own countries, their costume, their own university to other students and staff of the University of Jaén, right? If you have any question, okay, we can discuss it at the end, okay? But if it's something that you need to clarify before I go on, just raise your hand and we can continue. Yes, we do. Oh, wow. No.
We have submitted our candidacy for establishing ESN Podgorica.
Oh, good. Okay.
We have it for years. We have tried, but somehow the circumstances were such that we didn't manage to establish it. And now one of the colleagues, she's not here with us, but she has worked with the Buddy network this year. And they have had several events, a number of events with foreign students, and they submitted a candidacy how to become a member of ESN. So I would like to ask, what is the relationship between the university and ESN? We have to establish it as a non-governmental organization, but still they are connected. We are the only public university, so they will be strongly connected to us, but somehow not within the university. So about this relationship, if you know.
Well, I'm not sure, but I think they're part of our university student services. I think, yeah. Well, they are in student associations, within the students association at the university. But actually, I don't know where, because they receive funds, yeah, from Europe. So, not from us. No.
I think that the university only provides the space, but it was like a private association. I think, like, I know they receive funding from like ESN,
yeah,
and also Europe, out of ESN, but not from the university.
No.
Just a space where they are located, like their offices.
Yeah, because in fact they're all students. they're volunteering and they're all students, but as long as we know, they've got certain independence. Yeah. So, but we do collaborate with them. In fact, they organize events for students. They also somehow help us to, if they have maybe some problem with accommodation, or yeah, I'm not sure about exactly where they and how their funds are distributed, but yeah, we.
If you want, the president of our ESN was a trainee in our office and is friend of us. I can send you his email or even WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Really nice. And if you have any questions.
Yes, of course. You can share with him your doubts and Jose. Okay? You're welcome. Right, let's go on. Well, this is just to show you our, more or less, well, to have an idea of the numbers from the last two projects to 2019 and 2020 for the KA 107. One of the projects, 2019, will end next year. No, this year, sorry, yeah, this is one, it will end, it ends this year, and then we have the other one from 2020 that will finish next July, the next year, okay? Just to give you an idea. Also, again, as I said before, this is just to give you an idea of what we do at the International Relations Office. We deal with national mobility grants, it's called Secure, and basically it's related to mobility for undergraduate students within Spanish university. I don't know if you're here because I think it is only one for you, so, but yeah, in Spain we have this and it works really well. Then, of course, Erasmus Plus Scholarship KA 131 and KA 171. Previously 103 and 107. I'm sure you know it. Of course, we deal with student mobility for studies, traineeship, and doctorate in Europe and associate countries. And also for staff and teaching mobility grants. Okay, for teaching and as is it the case for training. Apart from that, we also have international mobility grants that are proper funds of the university for mobility to international countries outside of the European Union, like the United States, Australia, Africa, etc. Okay. And also, well, just to mention some other programs we've been running last few years, Women for Africa, grants for refugee students, University of High Sports Scholarship for students who are like professional sportsmen or sportswomen, and they need special support because they have to train, etc. So, and also Ibero-American University Association for Postgraduate Studies. This program has been mentioned also yesterday, but I would like to just go a little bit deeper into it because it's a really interesting program. Basically, what we want to is attract the best academic profiles from between the students from all the world. And we cover, the scholarship covers 100% basically matriculation fees, they don't have to pay. And also we give them 2,000 and 200 and 2,000 sorry, 2,200 euro for a degree. They have to stay the whole degree, the 4 years, and then also for master student it's 3,000 euros. They need an insurance, of course, because most of them they're coming from countries outside Europe, and also we offer them the Spanish language courses. This is just to give you an idea about the country we cooperate with. For example, Montenegro is one, Norway, United Kingdom, South Korea, Kazakhstan, Honduras, many of them, okay? Equatorial Guinea, Kenya, Morocco. And we receive more than 3,000 applications, okay? And the average GPA, it must be between 978 and 10, so only the best students, okay? I don't know, I don't remember if it has been mentioned yesterday, but between our academic offer, we have we will start this year offering a bachelor in medicine, okay? This is the very first year. So just for you to know, that's been quite challenging, because as you can imagine, it's quite difficult to deal with this kind of programs, but let's see how it works, okay? We hope we'll be successful. Now, our colleague yesterday mentioned it already. Erasmus digitalization is a very big challenge, okay? Well, here, my aim was just to introduce you a little bit, but just to refresh your mind from yesterday, I don't know. But basically, the aim is to digitalize the digitalization of everything, from the academic ID of the students through an app to the online learning agreement. So the learning agreement won't be sent anymore by email, and basically they want to offer the student the chance to have everything in his or her hand in a mobile phone, so they can deal everything with an application. It's quite difficult because, as our colleague mentioned yesterday, we have to connect not only technical staff from International Relations Office must know, then behind this, the application must be interconnected, so it's quite challenging because, in fact, as is saying here, not all the university using the dashboard, which is the platform offered from the Erasmus Without Paper program, but many universities use their own platforms, so it's quite challenging for the technical department to interconnect that, and then for us to cope with the possible technical problems and to teach how to work with these. So in my opinion, it's been very, very challenging and complicated, but we are on it, okay? We started with the online learning agreement already, and later I will show you, and also with the renovation of the bilateral agreements through the platform. So we reduced considerably the amount of paper since we start to use everything online. As you can imagine, for us, I don't know if you remember the numbers of students we deal with, so you can imagine how, I mean, is an advantage for sure, because forget about the paper. I mean, is the future. So it's a big issue. So this is the first step.
I would like to ask, since we are in the process of developing our own platform, online platform, where we would have all these forms in electronic formats, and we are supposed to adapt it to the Erasmus without paper and the dashboard.
Yeah.
We do not, as a non-EU country, we do not have access to the Erasmus without paper dashboard, and we do not know exactly the requirements, and we from the office are supposed to give to our IT staff the data, what we need to describe the task that they are supposed to do. So do you think that we might use, for example, training mobilities at some point in the future for our IT staff to visit your IT staff to become familiar with the requirements of the Erasmus without paper, or maybe international office staff, or
Yes.
would that kind of exchange be useful? Or maybe they can also connect online by Skype and discuss maybe these.
Yeah, I think it's because they're still on it, as you're not, it's not compulsory for you yet. So and for us it's been, as I say, really challenging because we have the 31st of December as a maximum to adapt everything, but believe me, it's been very, very, very complicating. I mean,
I'm aware of that.
so perhaps when it's clear for all of us, we will start to help partners, countries. In any case, later I'll show you our platform and how it works, because it could be useful for you, and you have an idea, okay? Because it's quite complicated, especially at the beginning, because we are really, actually we are all new at this. So, you know, for us the first step has been the digitalization of the interinstitutional agreements. I don't know the colleague from Cadiz, maybe later we can share how you are doing it, but yeah, it's been quite complicated because there are many actors intervening. So the idea is good. I mean, to avoid paper is really good. In fact, as I said before, the current agreements with the 103 programs and 131, there will be, we can, like, let's say, consider them valid till the 21st of December, but it's quite difficult to renew because we, for example, in our case, we have more than 1,000 agreements. So, you know, but yeah, we are on it, okay? So we try to do our best. This is for an example of the screen of the digitalization of our institutional agreements. Is where actually I'm working. We receive the proposal, but we also can send a proposal to renew an agreement through the platform. And later, if you want, I can show you a little bit how it works. Okay, because this is just an idea what we can do. Okay, you see, here are the information, and we can just ask for a change to our partners. This is the most difficult part, but also accept their proposal and adapt our own agreement. So, and then later, when it's everything absolutely matched, we can accept it and it's renewed. And the other part of the Erasmus digitalization is the online learning agreement. Maybe this is easier because actually it's true that for our students nothing has changed. Basically, they've got a new green button, when the coordinator accepts their proposal, they can directly send it to the host university. So it's just click on a button. We don't need to wait for emails going and coming. So actually, as I said, nothing has changed for the coordinator, and actually for the students it's pretty the same, but they have to accomplish a step less, because before we needed the signature. So that seemed to be right now not bad. Okay, this is an example of how it looks like an online learning agreement. Again, basically it's the same. Nothing really has changed for the student. It's an advantage actually, because they are used to work everything with their mobile phone, with their computer. So for them actually it's easier, and for us again is a big advantage. So this is how it looks like an online learning agreement. Right now, we start a little bit with a KA 107. It's quite general, okay, because it's not actually my field, but I hope it can help a little bit. Okay, again, is as you know, the international mobility program with KA 107 involves third country, not associated with the European Union, and the basic steps are selection of the partners, send the application to our national agency, which in Spain is called SEPIA. Then we receive the funds and we sign the interinstitutional agreements with the partners. But behind that, there's a huge amount of procedures, previous procedures we have to accomplish. This is the screen of the platform where we have to apply to get the grant for the program. Okay, just to, I don't know if you know it, well, the partner from Cadiz, I'm sure they know it. And also here is where we can check and send our application to receive the funds. This is to give you an idea, again, about the countries. We have between Balkans, Albania, Bosnia, Montenegro, Kosovo. For example, we have Kazakhstan, Iran, Gambia, Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal. Okay, these are our countries, partner countries under this K1071 program. Basically, the new programs is aimed at make Erasmus more digital, green, and accessible. So these are the basic, what's new. Okay, and then we have the short programs. Let's see. This is the support. Okay, we pay to the students. As you know, they have to stay minimum 3 months and a maximum of 5 months, and we pay according to the real days of stay. And we need the justification, okay, of it. Normally, they register at their arrival and they register their departure. The individual support is 850 euros per month. And also, they've got the travel allowance. Depending on the country, it could be between 275, 530, 800, depending on the country. How far is it? Again, this is for the teaching and training mobility. For our incoming teaching and training staff, we give them an individual support for 7 days, 1,120 plus the travel allowance, okay, between 180 and 1,500 depending on how far is it. How do we deal with it? Okay, so the previous step, we prepare and implementing the mobility. We must sign the interinstitutional agreement before the first exchange. And then what we need from our partner is that their selection of participants is fair, transparent, and well documented. Okay, this is not new for you. And the calls for application must be public, and the selection criteria shall be also made public. Okay, and we may require you to send us your calls, because the program can ask it to us. As you know, with the Erasmus Plus program, we have up to maximum of 12 months for study cycle for a student. The student can stay more than 12 months with the bachelor, but then they can repeat with the master or the PhD, but it's always 12 months per study cycle, okay? And as I said before, one of the main aim of the new program is to facilitate students with special needs. So they raise the allowances for the special needs students, for example, physical, mental, or health-related situation. As you know, it must be justify everything also, and normally is if you have any students or any teaching or staff that need special needs heads, you have to inform us, okay? Then we changes the way of receiving your nomination. So now you have to fill a form, okay? You have to fill a form, you send us the data of the students, and we register them on a platform. So they will receive the acceptance letter, etc. And they must complete their learning agreement on the platform too. At their arrival, the first thing they need to do is open a bank account, because we will transfer them the money, okay? We will, normally we pay 70% plus the travel allowances on their arrival. What we need from them is their transcript of records, I mean their academic records, their passport and insurance, okay? And we will pay them the rest of the grant by the end of their stay, upon their return tickets, okay? They register their departure, and normally we deal 1 week earlier to make sure they receive it on time. And finally, the last step is we send the home university the transcript of records and their certificate of stay of the students. So the sending university must, of course, accomplish with the credits recognition, and finally the students are obliged to fill the final report. It's really important, okay, because otherwise we may have a problem. So it's really important. We constantly remind our students they have to fill the final survey, the final report, okay, because it is crucial. This is our intranet. where do we access our platform to deal with the mobility. Okay, is Universidad Virtual, Virtual University. The students log in with their username and password, and they register on the platform. Okay, this is how it looks like, the platform. And this is one of the first steps. As I said before, they have to register, they have to indicate their dates of stay, and fill the learning agreements. In your case, for the 131 students, is already working with the online learning agreement, but for your student, is still on the platform. So your student must fill it on our platform, and then we need their signature from the home coordinator. Okay. They can upload and download documents. For example, from here they can download their acceptance letter, their final transcript of records, and also they can upload, for example, a passport, their academic records, etc. Okay. So, thank you for your attention. Actually, I'd like to show you a little bit of our platform, how it works. Let's see if I'm still in. Yes. Okay. So, as I said previously, from here, from this platform, we basically do everything. Starting from the bilateral agreements.
It's sharing the presentation and she wants to share the
screen.
Can we switch screen?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yes. So again, this is the UMove platform. Here is where we deal with our interinstitutional agreements. Every few minutes, you have to log in again. You see, this is how do we see our proposal of interinstitutional agreements when we have to send a new one or renew the old one. Basically, the platform takes the data we have in. So you have to ensure that your data are charged correctly, and then the system upload the proposal. Let's see, for example, I don't know if I can see one. No. Well, this is how it looks like for us. Okay. And imagine that I've sent this proposal to the university, so I have to wait for their answer if we need to change anything. You see, I don't know if it's in Spanish, but basically we can check here the status of the document. Here, for example, they've seen our proposal, and now we should wait if they ask for any change, and then associate the agreement with our database. As I said before, for us, for the staff, problem is that sometimes is a technical part behind this that we don't understand, and we cannot do anything. We have to ask help and support to the Department of support to the University of Almeria in this case, because it's run, the developer. And then we have the side where we receive a proposal. Okay, so the university which are already connected, they can send us a proposal. As I said before, here the difficulties are that we are not using the same platforms. So to match is quite different. It's difficult because, as you can see, for example, an example here, this university sent us, for example, separated area, but we work with all the areas together. Or in another case, they send us students, staff, everything together, but in our case, we work it separately. So the difficult part here is that we need the intervention of the technical department every time. But in the end, you do it. You have to do it because it's like this. We don't have any other option. So we need to negotiate with the partners by email. Okay, so sometimes we have to wait for them, their answer, because as I said, we have everything from we deal with everything from our international relations office, but the other university work separately by faculty. So that's quite complicated because they have themselves. We have to wait for the answer from the faculties to prepare the agreements and.
Just to make sure, this is not dashboard. This is not. This is your.
Yeah, this is our.
And then you are switching to dashboard. Will there be some point?
No. Well,
where you will just use the dashboard.
No.
Or it will always be for those.
If you choose, if you choose dashboard from the beginning, you have to follow up with dashboard. If you have your own developer and they connect their platform with the other university and the dashboard, you have to because I said you need to charge all your data. So it's something that it changed because you can receive a call or an email from a partner and say, sorry, we have to change it. So it's something that you have to constantly update. But yes, I think I'm not technical in this, but I think if you start with an option, you have to follow up with that.
I have a question regarding the platform and signing of the interinstitutional agreements. So is there a way, for example, you're proposing an institutional agreement to the university and you are proposing certain areas, and when filling out that form, does the algorithm fill it itself? So you say University of Hamilton has your code, your Erasmus code, everything, your location. So those things are generated by the algorithm, or it always goes once again?
No. There's a database because your university will be assigned a code, which is called stack code, and you are registered there. So that's as I said before. Your database must be updated because the system will pick the data from your platform or whatever you have, and you as you see, I don't know if you could see here. You have minimum. You have to indicate the area, the university code, the area, the number of students, the month, the languages, and the type of the cycle. There's another point here related to the cycle of study because you see, for example, we received this proposal from the University of Trento in Italy. For example, in this case, we can't accept it because it's not like us, like ours, because we separate everything. So I have to go into my database, change what I need to change, or ask them to change their own. It's complicated. I know that explain that is quite complicated, but when you work with it, you start picking it up. You have your own database, so you have to update everything, but only related to because the area are already charged. Maybe you need to change the number of students or the number of months, and then you don't receive a physical signature. I mean, it's approved online. That's it.
That being said, I think a solution towards this can be found in making it a bit more uniform. So they send you something that doesn't really goes with it. And another thing where it can also be applied is actually the certificates. The certificates of attendance, for example, are extremely different from different universities, are a matter of creativity of staff at those universities.
Yeah, in our case, our platform generates one automatically by indicating the dates. The data of the...
so it takes from the algorithm whatever is put in.
Yeah. That's a point. You don't have to, because it's there. So once the developer charge your database, then you just have to update it. That is one of the advantage. But then, as you said, the problem is that is not uniform, because the dashboard works in a way. Our platform, as I said, our platform works in a different way.
But all platforms will have to be adapted to how dashboard works, right? Like dashboard is like they put the rules, and then all these platforms, like ours, they have to adapt their requirements to dashboards, I guess. So people using dashboard are a step ahead of us, because...
Not really. No, dashboard is like the program from the Erasmus without paper.
One, right?
Yes, but it doesn't mean. I mean, as long as because the model of interinstitutional agreement is fixed, is the same for everyone. So as long as I said before, you indicate the area code, the number of students, the months. And the language requirements, for example, then the appearance of, because as you can see here, I always see what I receive from a university through my platform. So I don't know how is their platform.
For example, if people who use dashboard have to separate the study cycles, for example, yeah, and your platform doesn't separate the study cycle, the future is that your platform will have to separate them.
Probably.
In order to adapt to that.
Yeah, probably. Because as we are saying, if there's no uniformity amongst all the users, we cannot. In fact, I have 2 or 3 agreements stacked because we cannot separate the cycle and they cannot unify the cycle. So we cannot do anything now. So the developer, they have to solve this problem. This is not up to us because it's a technical stuff. But as long as you indicate the minimum requirements, it doesn't have to look like dashboard. Because dashboard, I don't know if you ever have seen dashboard. It's good.
It's really basic, right?
Yeah, it's basic. It's very easy to use actually. So it's up to every university to decide their own necessity. We already had YouMove. We already worked with this. We started working with YouMove 5 years ago.
2018 or 19.
So for us, obviously, having this and everything charged in our database was quite difficult to turn into the dashboard, because the dashboard should be in any case connected with our platform. So I think I'm not, I repeat, I'm not a developer or technical.
As an user of an external platform and knowing how dashboard works more or less, or how it looks, what would you recommend to people who are joining the Erasmus without papers? Taking into consideration that these kind of platforms are really expensive and Erasmus without papers is not.
I mean, the dashboard works quite well. I have to, actually I have to be politically correct because we are using a very expensive platform. But it depends, I mean, if you are already on it, if you are like developing something for...
You're about to start
and there are universities that use both, because their own platform it wasn't ready to work with this, so they still, maybe you are using two different platforms to deal with, I don't know.
Now we have a platform, the University of Cali, and now we are entering to move, so I don't work with that, so I don't know how it is.
So there are several options. You still have time to think about it because...
because the funds that we have available are provided by project. And you know that this kind of things to develop is very expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start with interinstitutional agreements. To have a database of interinstitutional agreements and then develop upgrade it with other functionalities.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in the future, I mean, this is quite new for everyone. So the developer like going mad, finding solution for this, because it's quite complicated, as I said.
If they're not specialized, if they're not familiar with Erasmus+, if they have not been into it, it's
and then
complex.
we still have to negotiate by email this. This is a big problem from my point of view, okay? It's my opinion. Because if we are trying to digitalize everything by clicking a button, maybe I have to exchange 7, 8 emails to reach an agreement. So it's quite tedious, right? But yeah, well, you can see how it works for us for 131 program, and then you can decide maybe when we are at the end of this year we see how it works, and then you can decide. You can, I mean, the dashboard is quite clear to use, it's quite easy. Then you have to see. The most important thing from my opinion, from my point of view, is to charge the database correctly the first time at least. So you don't need to.
For the agreement, it took us like several months. When we started using this, we had to make to convert more than 1,000 agreements into Excel tables, following the requirements of the developers of this, so that they could charge all the information. It took us I don't know, maybe 5, 6 months.
So, you know, it takes time.
It takes time. But it pays out in the end. You can, for reports, for records keeping, for if you have to provide data to the rector for some, how many new agreements, how many have you signed for the past half a year, I don't know, how many proposals, numbers of students.
Oh, that's, yeah.
And for example, if a student requires you their certificate of stay because they need for applying for a job or whatever, you can, all the documents are kept there.
Yes.
All the information of the stays of the students is also kept, so it's quite useful.
You can well, from this platform you can download information when your governing body asks you, for example, numbers that what they're looking for. Basically, you just have a look and you give them the money.
From the Excel file.
It's a big advantage. Yeah. So think, yeah, maybe for you now that you are starting, you have to take into account all this kind of, yeah, because it's really useful. Well, from my side, it's all. I don't know if you have any question or anything you want to share with us.
Thank you. This was very, very useful for us. Really, at this point.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't help you more because actually I'm also new at this, as I said.
For us, if we are not technicians, this is what we know. This what we need, and what you showed us for technical part, it would not be useful anyway. If we get more details. So thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, we have the coffee break.
Jel sad uključeno? Jest. Test, test.
Okay, shall we continue our work? So, the second session today, in the second session, we will have the presentation of our project office. Our colleague Philipp Petrovic from the project office will present their activities and plans for the future. Philipp?
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone from my side as well. My name is Philipp Petrovic. I am Associate for Project Management within the Project Office of the University of Montenegro. And now I will give you just some general information about our office. So our office was founded very recently in April 2022 in order to support project activities at the University of Montenegro. So before founding our office, these activities were under the charge of the Center for Internationalization, for International Cooperation of the University of Montenegro, and we were noticing that we could not be that successful in applying for projects because, you know, we are lacking of staff, we are lacking of time, and too little number of people is dealing with too many responsibilities. So within the previous work, when we implemented the development strategy of University of Montenegro, internationalization strategy, and so on, we decided to found a separate office. It is still under the Center for International Cooperation, but it's a separate office with a specific team. So as I said, the main thing is to support design of the projects, preparation, implementation of the projects, to get familiar with all the calls that are recent, to the specific, to, you know, have on mind all the time what are the specificities of the calls, to communicate with our academic staff, to promote the calls, to give them administrative support, but also to write projects for the University of Montenegro, mostly the structural projects that they are concerned about the increasing the capacities of the University of Montenegro, such as the Erasmus Plus capacity building projects, and to strengthen the cooperation between our organizational units, because the University of Montenegro, as you probably heard, is very large, very big university, is the only public university in our country with 19 faculties and 3 separate institutes. So we have, you know, to put in line all the project activities here. When it comes to the structure of the office, we have the head of the office, we have 2 associates for project management, and we have 1 associate for the matter of finances. Our head of office, Ms. Srna Sudar, is upstairs on another session together with my colleague Vladan Perazic. He is associate for project management, and our colleague Nikola, who is dealing with the financial issues, is also upstairs. We have our website, so if you go to the website of the University of Montenegro, you can click more about university, then go under the centers, and then you can find the project office. So you can find there a lot of interesting things. We publish like almost every day when it's something interesting when it comes to the national or international funds for research and development. We also have there many useful like handbooks and guides, you know, and such documents that can help to all our academic staff and people who are researchers in general who are interested for applying for projects. So these are our, you know, names with biographies. I can maybe skip that in order not to give you too much information. This is Srna. You probably saw her somewhere outside, so if you are interested more in getting in touch with her, you can catch up with her later. I think she is a PhD for the environmental sciences. Then this is our colleague Vladan. You can find him later. He has his degree in mechanical engineering, but more than 20 years of experience in different kind of projects. This is our colleague Nicola. He is dealing with finances. He graduated from the Faculty of Economics. And I think this one here is me. You can see me now. So I'm master in science in economics, but I'm currently doing my PhD thesis. So about the economy of innovation. So that is our small team. As I said before, the main things to do are administration, networking, communication, finances, supporting project development and implementation. We also create a project database. On our website, you can find all the table with all the relevant projects that we are dealing with. Now upstairs there is a promotion of 5 Erasmus Plus projects. I can tell you about them here. One of them is for the reform of the doctoral studies, project called MARDS. Success program for success project, MAP and M project, dual MON project. So they are all capacity building projects in different areas. So we are very successful within those projects. Your vice rector from the University of Jaén told us upstairs that we can expect help from you when it comes to the applying for Horizon projects. That is something that we are lacking here. So from time to time we get some Horizon projects. Now we have one twinning successful call. So we hope to be more successful within Horizon calls. We would like that. Also we here can mention some of the strategic documents, as I said before, like our development strategy or the strategy for internationalization, but also this policy of open access to research infrastructure that was adopted in October 2020. So our university gave its infrastructure to all the interested entities that want to use our research capacities to get something for the commercial purpose. So now that is the document that strengthens the relations between the economy and between the academia. So in order that it can come to your knowledge as well, because it is for all the national and international partners. So we can not only cooperate on this scientific level, you know, to write projects, but we can also commercialize our products, innovation, research between ourselves. When it comes to the projects, those are some that are now accurate and that we are included in. So you probably recognize Euraccess. I hope that you also participate within the Euraccess network. Erasmus Plus projects. We also have one Jean Monnet Center of Excellence on our university. It is the first Jean Monnet Center of Excellence awarded in Montenegro. It's on the Faculty of Economics, and so on. This is the online database that I mentioned you about the projects that exist on our website, that we are currently refreshing it. More than 850 project information is available within that database. And I think that is like the, yeah, these are the handbooks and the guides that we made for the project management handbook. It's also available on our website. The list of Erasmus projects, it's also available on our website. And here then you have our contacts. So maybe if you want to contact us for any matter when it comes to the project cooperation, these are our email addresses. And then at the end you have like a general email address that everyone from our team is following, so you can reach us there. So I think that's all when it comes to this presentation. And now I am open for any question. If you have, please do not hesitate. We can have a discussion here now in a less formal way. So thank you for your attention. If something is unclear, then I am here for you. Thank you. Thank you. I haven't been here before, so I don't know from which part you are or from which offices. You're like, is international relation offices mostly? Is someone of you dealing with projects? Ah, okay. Nice to meet you.
But I'm in the international relation office with my colleagues, but some part of the project I deal with.
Okay.
But it's like a very basic support to the department who are in charge of the investigation and stuff. We just from my side, I give information, I help them to do the application.
Yeah.
I give institutional information, this kind of things.
Okay. So are you from like project office, from your faculty, or from your university, or it's?
International relation office, but I support to the PDE, to the professors, to deal with the documents and this kind of things.
Yeah.
In our university, the departments are very like they work by their own with the projects. You know, they apply for themselves and they organize the forms by themselves and they do everything by themselves. We just give some small support.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I always forget because we have a office which is the OPP with they centralize the international projects. But not the Erasmus one. Now they are starting with the Erasmus one.
Okay.
Other kind of international projects.
From our office, especially with Erasmus projects, but our projects office, they're specified in Horizon, and we're like separate.
Nice. So maybe it's good that we, you know, stay in touch after this, so we can help each other with some others, because there is always some question, you know, you have to look for an answer, you know, to look for the rule. And so so we can build our relations tighter. Yeah, thank you very much. Is there?
Not have any more questions. This was the presentation about our project office, and with this we end our program for the students have today. Get them stuff. They have some more meetings upstairs. So we finished for today this part, and in the afternoon. Now you have the excursion to Sendingen. We start at 5 o'clock in front of the rectory building. The bus will be waiting either in front of the building or, because the big bus cannot enter we have that ramp, they will wait outside the ramp very close to the entrance to the parking. So 5 o'clock in front of the building. And then it will be cooler. Especially as the
mountain is
will be much cooler than the winter, so I hope you enjoy also that part. Thank you for your attention.
Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.